You are only as good as your habits are. And for the longest time, I was doing terrible habits, which was throwing off my day, throwing off my progress, and throwing off my momentum, which was keeping me inconsistent. See, when it comes down to consistency, it comes down to two things. You're either consistent by motivation or you're consistent by systems. And the systems are the backbone of your habits. So I'm gonna tell you guys the 7 habits that were holding me back from reaching my true potential, and I don't want you to be holding you back either. So understand, whatever I'm saying here, if you're dealing with it, take it from me and cut it out, because these are habits that you don't want to interfere with your progress. So number 1, which is number 7 out of 7, is chasing women. Chasing women is one of the worst habits you can do, because overall, it's just a distraction at the end of the day. You know, there's a saying, if you wanted to attract butterflies to a garden, what would you do? Would you build up the garden, or would you go out with a net and grab the butterflies and bring them back? You would obviously build up the garden. And for the longest time, I didn't have that mindset. I thought, you know what? I see this hot girl, I'm gonna go chase her, even though my value is low. If you just increase your value as a man, you will attract the woman that you want. But a lot of you guys, you're not shredded, you're not jacked, you're not successful, and you expect to attract a high value woman. If you aren't aware of something called SMV, it's called sexual market value. If you don't know what your SMV is, please go on the internet and look it up. Because most people nowadays, they have terrible SMVs. Why? Because they're fat, they're out of shape, they have no success, they have no net worth, all this stuff. And if your SMV is low, you are gonna attract bad women. So focus on getting your SMV up, which is, getting shredded, becoming successful, leveling up as a man. That's the most high test thing that you can do. That was the worst, or not the worst habit, but one of the 7 habits holding me back. Now, second was no planning. This is a bad habit to go down. Not planning out what you have to do every single day. So many people, they have no clue what they're gonna do on a daily basis, and they wonder why they can't progress. If you are going about your day not knowing what you're gonna do you think you're gonna execute on the things that are gonna move the needle forward? This is exactly why I teach all my students and my clients, listen, if you wanna level up as quick as possible, you need to write down your 4-step morning routine, 5 needle movers that you gotta get done, things to get done. Write that down before bed every single night on the things that you have to do the next day so that you can execute it. Because if you don't plan out your day, you are unorganized, you are inefficient, and you're not going to see the progress that you want. And I was so unorganized for the longest time, and that's why I wasn't making progress. So you have to be planning. Now, third is going to be procrastination. Fit that in there. Procrastination. If you procrastinate things, you are going to fail. This kind of goes along with no planning. It really does, because if you don't plan things, you're probably going to procrastinate things. This is why not only do you have to plan things out, but you have to take immense action every single day. See, a lot of you guys watching this right now, you want to get jacked, you want to get shredded, you want to level up, but you don't take action on the things that you have to get done. You know you shouldn't be going out to these restaurants and eating bullshit, stopping at Chipotle, having a cheat meal, eating snacks, not being consistent, but you continue to put it off. Right now it's October. Maybe you're watching this in November or December and you want to get jacked and shredded, but you're going to wait to January 1st to, lock in more. What kind of fucking mindset is that? And I used to procrastinate all the time. When I was in school, I procrastinated with homework and stuff. When I wanted to start this page, I was very hesitant on posting content stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, take immense amount of action, because time is the only thing that you do not have. It's the only thing that you're not going to get back. Well, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it's gone. I'm never going to get those 3 seconds back, right? So take action every single day, because if you procrastinate, it's going to be so hard to level up. Now, the fourth thing that held me back was late sleep. And I actually still struggle with this sometimes today, because Dom and I record YouTube videos on the Dominate channel. If you aren't subscribed to that channel, go subscribe at Dominate Talks. We record videos on the late night, and it messes up my circadian rhythm. And when you stay up late, you tend to do a bunch of bullshit. You either eat bullshit, you watch bullshit, or you're just doing bullshit, right? This is why having a bedtime and having a wake time is just as important as planning out your day. Make sure you're not staying up late. It's messing up your hormones, it's messing up your efficiency, and it's just not a good habit to have in place. And that's coming from me, a person who sometimes stays up till 1 a.m., probably twice a week. I try so hard to cut that out. And man to man, right now, I'm telling you, you have to stop staying up late. It's terrible for your brain. It's rapidly aging you. It's increasing the gray matter in your brain. You've got to be going to bed at an efficient time. And that's something that I'm trying my hardest with right now. Now, the fifth habit that held me back for the longest time was always snacking. Snacking is a terrible habit to have, because you unconsciously do it, right? A lot of people, they snack without even thinking about it. At the end of the day, it comes down to your hormones. When your leptin's low and your ghrelin's high, you get a little hungry and you go eat a snack. You go eat a cheat meal. You go out somewhere, right? That's how it works. I used to snack on trail mix all the time, thinking that it wasn't bad. It's nuts and raisins and seeds. It's like, bro, it's still snacking. It's a terrible mindset to have. You give in to your dopamine. And if you give in to snacking, guess what? You're probably giving in to other things too. Cheat meals, drinking with your friends, waking up and looking at your phone. Like, these are terrible habits to have. So you have to address all the dopamine activities, and one of them is snacking. And then number 2 of the final habits goes along with it is cheat meals. I used to think all the time that, oh my gosh, I can have a cheat meal every other week, because I heard that it was good for my metabolism. It's going to speed up my metabolism after I've been in a calorie deficit, which, calorie deficits, are they even real? Probably not. Eat fucking whole foods. Don't eat cheat meals. Don't eat bullshit, and you'll get shredded, right? But cheat meals, I used to think, oh my God, it's going to speed up my metabolism. I can, positively reinforce my good eating habits with a cheat meal every other week to stay locked in. And that's exactly why I never got shredded. And not only that, but that dopamine from the cheat meals and the snacking, guess what? They resulted in dopamine in other areas. Scrolling on my phone, waking up and looking at my phone, getting the instant gratification. Avoid habits that deliver instant gratification right to you, because that is the most low test thing that you can do, overstimulate your brain. A lot of people don't realize this. They're like, oh, what are the best test boosting hacks? It's like, bro, avoid cheap dopamine. And when you're eating cheat meals and when you're snacking, that's the cheapest dopamine that you can possibly get. And then the final habit is, of course, going to be drinking. For the longest time, I thought that I could drink and get shredded, because I was drinking, I was still working out 5 times a week, and I was still eating healthy. But I was missing the whole mindset shift. It's an all or nothing type of deal. You're either all in or you're all out. And when you're drinking, you're all out. You're consuming estrogen. You're taking years off your life. You're dehydrating yourself. You're destroying your liver. Why are you doing that? For me, I don't know why. And I think back on it now. Why was I doing that? I don't know why. To fit in with my friends, with my environment, to get girls, right? These are all bad habits that are holding you back from going to the next level, not only physically, but financially, spiritually, mentally, every aspect of life is going to get better if you avoid these habits. But if you have any of these habits in here and you fail to eliminate them, guess what? You are going to be stuck, or you are going to be slowing down your progress. So take this as a sign. See these things, see how I used to do them and it held me back, and why I don't do them anymore. Because my goal in life is to help as many people as possible and to progress as quick as possible. So when I'm 30, when I'm 35, when I'm 40, all my hard work has paid off, and I can say, okay, the sacrifices I made right now paid off later. And that's the mindset that you have to have. If you don't have that mindset, then guess what? You can do these habits and continue living your mediocre life. But until you have that mindset where I'm going to sacrifice things now for things later, it's 100% worth it. When your family is secure, when your family is protected, when you look like a leader that can protect and to provide. Because as a man, that is your goal. That is your goal. And the only way to get to that goal is eliminating all the bad habits. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching to take your physique, take your mindset, and to level up your life, book a call with me in the link in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Comment what you want me to talk about on the whiteboard next.